Hello everybody, my name is the Digitized Panda and welcome to Dark Souls 3. In this video, join me on a journey through Dark Souls 3 without healing consumables. As we begin, let's go over the rules. Rule number 1, I'm not allowed to use any drinkable healing or FP use items. This includes Estus flasks, divine blessings, Sieg brews, ashen Estus flasks, or hidden blessings. Rule number 2, I must beat every boss in the base game. With that out of the way, at the start of the run, I name my character No Estus. I choose the Cleric class since it starts with the Miracle Heal. I choose the Black Fire Bombs, making sure that I keep one to trade with Snuggly the Crow. I collect the Ashen Estus Flask and remove both Estus Flasks and Ashen Estus Flask from my hotbar. I'd like to judge the starting damage of my build by fighting the Crystal Lizard. It goes well. But I go back and get my revenge. I collect the fire bombs on the ledge before taking on the first boss, Index Grundyr. Let's go ahead and talk about the Cleric starting class. It has 14 Dex and 16 Faith. Since we're looking at a dexterity based final build, this is perfect for our beginnings. The mace starting weapon does solid damage for both one-handed and two-handed attacks. The blue wooden shield allows us to parry, and the Cleric's Sacred Charm has the ability Gentle Prayer, which heals you over time as long as you keep it in your hand after activation. Between Gentle Prayer and Heal, we are able to take on Grundyr and receive the Coiled Sword. Once at Firelink Shrine, I do the tree jump. I trade with Snuggly the Crow, one Black Fire Bomb and one regular Fire Bomb for a Titanite chunk and a large Titanite shard. These will be useful later. I then grab the Silver Serpent Ring for 10% more souls. I light the fire in the middle of Firelink Shrine and move to the High Wall of Lothric, running past the dragon and collecting all the free souls. Try not to get eaten by the Mimic chest, and once defeated, pick up the Deep Battle Axe. We dive deeper into the High Wall, collecting the Cell Key. I try to disarm fire bombs with my face. I suggest using a different method. Free Grey Rat as he is useful as a vendor later in the run for extra embers and items. And move to take on Vordt. The boss fight with Vordt went by fairly quickly for an early game boss. He is very big and slow with highly telegraphed attacks that are easy to dodge. During phase 2, he does get a lot more aggressive running around the arena, but as long as you remember, try to stay behind him and smack that booty to defeat. I use the banner to get a free taxi ride. Hopefully it drops me off at the proper destination, the foot of the high wall. While there, we recruit and speak with Yhorm before throwing ourselves off the cliff and drawing out our true strength, putting all of the levels in dexterity. I sprint through the undead settlement quickly, grabbing the Mortician's ashes. Dark Souls decides to be Dark Souls and gives me a death. Thank you. I run past Sigurd to get to the Road of Sacrifice's bonfire, before turning around and dispatching the Outrider Knight. This fight can be very difficult with the frostbite that they can apply. Not even close. I learned that with an Ember and 15 Vigor you can survive the fall into the pit, no grave key required, knock down the red and white shield, and then I bring the most pivotal NPC for this run success into service. Meet Irina of Kareem. Her goal is to become a firekeeper and she can read the Braille Divine Tomes and sell you the miracles within. Continuing on, I ride the lift and make peace with the giant, frantically heal during the battle with the fire demon, give Sigurd a pat on the back with my sword, defeat the fire demon, and toast our new friend. I jump to the tower to get the Chloranthy ring for stamina regen. We're able to set our focus on our next target on our list, the Cursed Rotted Greywood. Not much to say about this fight, as we can focus the sacks for huge burst damage, and before you know it, the boss is down. Back at Firelink Shrine to give the transposing kiln to Ludwig using Vordt's soul for the Pontiff Left Eye ring. This ring allows me to heal for 30 HP after 6 to 8 attacks in a row. I level Vigor and Dexterity, stop by Irina to get the Miracle Replenishment. This miracle heals for 5 HP per second for 60 seconds. And move back to the Road of Sacrifices. I run past all of the enemies, barely make it to the halfway fortress, speak with Henri, and then sprint my way through the woods. I lure the two NPCs to their deaths with gravity. Making my way to the Crystal Sage with the Sellsword Twin Blades in hand, I quickly take down phase 1 with very little teleporting. Going into phase 2, I focus on the clones until the Sage is at low health before rushing the boss and delivering the final blow. On the way to the Cleansing Chapel, I kill the NPC guarding the Paladin's ashes before taking on the second one further up the stairs. In the cemetery outside, I get a great death from a jumping Grave Warden. Fight the Mimic in the Cathedral for the Deep Braille Tome, use my body to activate the lift for an easy run back to the Deacon fight, and talk to Irina to buy med heal for better healing. Before the Deacons boss fight, I summon Henri as a distraction and rush every Deacon down with a flurry of attacks. I focus on the main Deacon with the same strategy, and before long the Deacons are down and I have acquired the doll. Traveling back to Firelink Shrine, I speak with Henri, ride the lift unlocked by the tower key, grab the Firekeeper's soul, and meet the most disrespectful NPC in all of Dark Souls history, Patches, who locks us in the tower. We do some parkour to escape, and go back and buy all of Sigurd's armor and give it back to him in the well outside of the Cleansing Chapel bonfire. I slowly trudge my way through Farron Swamp, questioning why I keep putting the bonfires out with my hand. Follow a large ladder that brings me to the Dream Chaser's ashes. Go up the lift and say hello to the escaped Asylum Demon. He does not seem very happy, and after a few slam attacks, we break his legs and secure the victory. I questionably put out the third fire with my hand again, but we are now able to access the Abyss Watcher's boss fight. I summoned the Landor Paleshade for a good distraction for this boss, picked my windows of opportunity wisely, and with a few backstabs, were able to defeat the First Lord of Cinder. I sprint my way through the catacombs, unable to dodge the spam of skeleton swords, find a confused Henri looking for Horus, run past even more skeletons, watch a crystal lizard jump off the map, and speak with Henri again, still looking for Horus. I touch a cup I have no reason to, and an epic battle with High Lord Wolnir starts. This fight is pretty easy, all you have to do is dodge his well telegraphed and long wind-up attacks, and hit each bracelet on his arms 5 to 6 times for huge damage. Now everyone wave goodbye as he slips deep into the darkness of the abyss. On the way to the smoldering lake, I use the skeletons to aid me to defeat the stray fire demon. I find Horus, who has turned hollow, and engage in an honorable duel, and toast the death of the electric worm. The old Demon King fight is one of those boss fights I forget on normal runs. That being said, I died to an explosion I forgot was in his moveset. Next attempt I was able to do a lot of damage and defeat him before he could try that explosion again. Making our way back up, we make it to Irithyll of the Boreal Valley. We teach Pontiff's dogs how to sit and get Pontiff's right eye ring in exchange. This ring boosts attack power as long as we keep attacking. Further in, I meet Henri at the Church of Yorshka, receiving the Ring of the Evil Eye, which gives us 30 HP for each defeated foe. We come across Sigurd resting at a bonfire and unlock the shortcut to Pontiff's boss room. Pontiff as the fight was a lot easier than expected. We start the fight off right with a parry and a riposte, allowing us to give a lot of damage and an immediate phase change. Upon phase change, we're able to actually do some more damage, as well as he gives us plenty of opportunities with summoning his clones. And with that, he goes down very quickly. Jumping into the Irithyll dungeon, I grab the Jailbreaker's key, unlock the doors, have the giant riots follow me onto the shortcut lift, run past the profaned capital, knock the NPC mage off the roof, free Sigurd from his cell to fulfill his faithful duty, and move to Yhorm. At the start of the fight, I go and pick up the Storm Ruler at the back of the room. The fight with Yhorm had several close calls, but with Sigurd's help, we were able to defeat him, and I sat down for one final toast. I engage both NPCs waiting on the stairs to Arnorlando, speak with Yuria to make sure that Henri is ready, and go ahead and marry Henri. In Arnorlando, I open the doors before being cursed, kill the cursed spider for my revenge, and move on to Aldrich's boss fight. On the winning attempt against Aldrich, I was full on offense mode. I was able to get close for great damage while stopping Aldrich from using a lot of her powerful ranged magic attacks. Even with that, it was a very close fight in the end. I leave the dancer's room before going back and collecting the Sun Princess ring above Aldrich's boss fight. Returning to the dancer's boss room, I'm ready to fight. During phase 1, I stay close and take advantage of her long attack patterns and grab animations. In phase 2, we step away from her spin attacks and dodge through others to stay close for a very quick and satisfying victory. The fight with Oceiros took quite a few attempts. I died multiple times to his charge attack that have no tails, consistently failed the tail swipe dodge, but I was able to get close when he was using his breath attacks, and I was able to damage to his tail upon him rampaging around the boss room. But in the end, I claimed victory. I grabbed the Path of the Dragon emote on the way to Champion Grundyr. Now there are 2 ways to fight Champion Grundyr. Option 1, parry. Option 2, dodge. I tried the parry options multiple times with little success, so I went full offense and dodging his attacks. I was able to use his highly aggressive nature for better damage windows, and with a stagger, that sealed my victory. I get the Boreal Divine Tome from Lothar Castle, speak to Irina to buy Bountiful Light. This miracle restores 10 HP per second for 60 seconds. Now it is time for the Dragon Slayer armor. I was able to stay in close and either sidestep or dodge his attacks. Trying to conserve a little bit of stamina was my #1 priority because I knew with one wrong move, I would probably be dead. I was able to stagger the Dragon Slayer armor deep into phase 2, and with that I was able to slice my way to victory on the first try. I decided now was the perfect time for Dragonland. I one-shot the Ancient Wyvern, tickle the toes and dodge the fire of the Wyvern blocking my path. I ring the bell to summon the Nameless King. I fought the Nameless King for about 2 hours, and this is the closest I ever got, so I put the Nameless King on the back burner. Moving through the Grand Archives, I dip my head in wax, casually defeat this Crystal Sage on the 3rd floor, level Faith to 25 so I can finally use Bountiful Light, fight the 3 NPCs blocking my path to the Twin Prince boss fight. After 2 hours of attempts on the Twin Prince's boss fight, I never got past phase 1 Lorien, so I called in some reinforcements. Say hello to Vezra the Dragon. With the help from Vezra and his perfectly timed heals, we were able to defeat the princes while they were using a lot of magic and tried to teleport away. We ended Nameless King's first phase in about 3 hits, perfectly positioned myself for the King's thrusting spear attack, got a stance break before a big lightning slam, and Vezra riposted for the win. We made our way to the Soul of Cinder's arena. This fight was so much fun because he is perfectly balanced between aggressiveness and patience. He is able to switch build types and keep you on your toes and second guessing your damage opportunities. The start of phase 2 requires focus and patience. I heal as he rushes Vezra with his opening combo. Here he no longer switches build types and opts to use more of a lightning based attack style, like the first Lord of Cinder Gwyn. We were able to break his stance, and with a couple more hits we were able to defeat the Lord of Cinder. I approached the bonfire after making my choice to absorb the flame into my body and collapse onto the ground. I would like to thank you for watching this video. On screen you see the final stats of my build. If you would like to see any other runs like this, leave them in the comment section below, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day. Bye bye now.